Hi, I'm Chris, and today I want to show you a few hidden Procreate features that can make drawing feel so much easier. When you're learning Procreate, it's not usually just one big thing that feels hard, it's a lot of little frustrations that start to add up. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 simple features that will fix those problems, and once you start using them, everything will start to go a little bit smoother. Let's draw together. Have you ever made a shape and filled it in and it looked like that? Had this lovely gap in between. You're like, oh, that's super annoying. I remember doing this the very first time I started Procreate and not understanding why. And I thought, oh, this is fun. I have to color it all in. What's the point? That's not helpful at all. So what is happening is your threshold is not working to your advantage. So you can change the threshold of how much it fills and how much it doesn't. I'm going to take my color dropper to drop again, and you'll see that the threshold is at 1%. So if I move my brush to the right, you see how it starts to go up, and this starts to fill in. So I'm just going to go nice and high, and now that's all nice and filled in. Now, if you wanted to keep going even higher, you can go again. It's at 63, so I'm just going to keep going. Oh, it filled it in even more, and then too much. So it's that balance of having it right before it overflows. Now, if you're having the opposite problem, where you've gone and immediately it's gone like this, your threshold is too high. So you just drag, hold it down, and then slide to the left to bring it down to right before it overflows. And that's your sweet spot. So every shape is going to be a little bit different. So you might have to adjust your settings sometimes depending on your brush or your shape. So that is how you do that. Now the other reason why you wouldn't be able to fill in is because your shape isn't closed. You have a very loose close there. So it's just gonna overflow because it's sneaking out of that place that the lines haven't lined up. If you've ever tried to draw a perfect circle or a straight line, you know that can be hard. But of course, Procreate gives us a few tools that we can use to help us do that way simpler. So if I'm going to draw a line, I can just simply draw a line, hold it, and you see how it snaps. I can use this finger to make it snap in all various degrees and angles here. So that's super helpful. So if I'm going to draw a straight line this way, hold it, snap, and you know you have a straight line. Brilliant, wonderful. What about shapes? You can do the same thing. You can just draw a circle. Just draw a rough circle. Make sure it attaches to itself. Like don't leave it open. Otherwise you're gonna get different curves. I mean, maybe you want that, but you'll have a curve. But if you're wanting to do a perfect circle, you draw a circle as best you can. And then you'll see that if I hold down my finger, I'll get a perfect circle. You can keep sizing it up and down. But did you know you can edit it afterwards? So circle comes up, so you just have to tap on it before it disappears. And you can choose a circle or ellipse, and you can adjust that. So I can make it bigger. I can change it so now it becomes an ellipse. And you can just edit that as you wish, the size and the shape. So how fun is that? And you can also draw a square. So draw your best square you can, it'll help the best. And same thing, you go ahead and just put your finger down to make it into a square. And I waited too long, so it disappeared. You saw that, so that's okay. It just means that your editing ability has gone away. So if we do it again, I'll try to catch that square. And you can change it into a rectangle or a quadrilateral or a polyline, but same thing, you can reshape it, resize it, augment it here, and make your lovely shapes. This is one of those little things that most people don't even realize that they can control. You can actually change the bounding box. So if you are selecting a layer, so I'm just going to select this here, you probably know that you can, size it up, size it down. Right now I have it on uniform, so it's uniformly doing that. But let's say that I wanted it to be a little bit wider. Then I would choose freeform. So you can see the problem with this is that it's distorting it. So we don't want that. So in this instance, you would use this yellow toggle here. So you want to rotate it as close to the side, so it's like lined up with the image that you're working within as best you can. And then you can go ahead and move it. So now it is sizing up much more naturally. So let's say that you want to have things all in a nice straight line. It can be challenging when you're just eyeballing it. Sometimes it's appropriate and sometimes it's not. So let's just have a look here. Let's see these swatches. I wanted to have multiple swatches in a row. How would I do this? Well, I can move it and do my best to eyeball it, and that's fine. But let's say I want it to be accurate. Let's try that again. So I'm going to go to my arrow, go to snapping, and I can do magnetics, and let's see what happens this time. So now you see these lines come, and that's really useful because I know I can stay on this line if I can go on an angle if I needed to, all sorts. So I can really just have much more, well, it's like a ruler basically, but it kind of keeps you snapped on there. And then the other one you can do is snapping, and that will really, it just literally makes it snap to it, so you can kind of get even more guides happening here with both of them on. And then if you just have snapping on, it kind of jumps and snaps to where you need it to be. Now, it can be a little bit annoying. Sometimes snapping is a little bit frustrating depending on what you're doing, but if you're wanting to have that absolute accuracy, have both of them on, and that will really help guide you to move those exactly straight on. So these settings will help you line things up nice and properly, nice and square, keep everything centered, and feel much more balanced and, well, just much more mathematically accurate. So I like to use a lot of layers. You can see this project has a lot, but what if I just needed to look at my line drawing and, I didn't want to go through every single layer and check these off just so I could look at it. Well, there's an easy way to do that. All you have to do is tap on the layer's check mark and hold it, and it will isolate it. How genius is that? Okay, so there we have our one layer, but now, conversely, I want to bring all my layers back and I don't feel like checking them all off. So I'm just going to hold down and it will bring them all back. Simple as that. So it's really easy to isolate layers just so you can see what's on them or make adjustments, and then just hold down to isolate and hold down to bring everything back again. So what if I just wanted to add a little glow to this little star here? Well, there's a really simple way we can do it. I'm just going to have this on a light yellow. Then I'm going to go to my selection tool. I'm going to select ellipse, and I'm just going to make a shape simply like this. I have it on color fill. Now, if I didn't, it would just be a selection, but I want it on color fill, so that makes the difference there. And then I'm going to tap on feather, and here will be the amount. So I'll just slide that up to a reasonable sort of glow and deselect, and there you go, a nice little glow using feather with our selection tool. Sometimes you just need to move some layers to another canvas. Maybe you've run out of layers, maybe you want a different canvas, maybe, there's all sorts of reasons why you might want to do this. There is a way to take this. So I'm going to just use my finger and drag off the grouping that I want to take, these multiple layers. Actually, I'll show you. There's multiple layers in here. So I'm just going to take it and drag it into the canvas, tap on gallery, then tap on my new canvas, all while holding this down, and then release, and it will import them. Now you do notice there's one flaw that kind of drives me a little bit crazy, but you'll notice that all the layers are in the wrong order. For some strange reason, it likes to bring it in the opposite order. So you do just manually have to go ahead and do that. I've yet to figure out why that happens or a workaround, but that's the way it is as it stands. So again, let's do that one more time. I'll just choose another one. So let's just take this one. So I'm just going to hold it, go to the gallery, still holding this down, open up our new canvas and release. And then you're back to reordering again. So we'll just drag these so they're all nicely lined up, and away you go. So that's how you move multiple layers to a new canvas. So the Liquify tool is one of my favorite tools to use, especially when I'm sketching, because it is a great way just to move things around without redrawing, and you are just loose and free when you're sketching. This is a great tool to use just to do slight movements here. So you go to your magic wand and at the bottom choose Liquify. There's all sorts of things you can do. 90% of the time I'm using push, and you can change the size of your brush. I like my pressure on maximum and the rest to none. So all you're doing is just moving around just your sketch here, just so that because this is just when you're loose and you know, this isn't your good work, but you just want to manipulate things a little bit. And that's an easy way to do that. So there's all sorts of little hand gestures that we can do in Procreate to make our lives simpler and easier and more efficient. So let's just make a line here. So I've made a mistake. 2 taps, so 2 fingers, tap, makes it go away. But let's say you erased something by mistake and you wanted to bring it back. You can just use 3 fingers to bring it back. So 3 fingers is redo and 2 fingers is undo. Then if you take your 3 fingers and swipe down, you bring up a new menu. It has cut, copy, copy all, duplicate, cut and paste, and paste. I often use this a lot for cut and paste. It's really convenient. So you can just go and do that. Now we have this on its own layer and away you go. These gestures will become so common to you, especially the undo. I'm often doing that on actual paper when I'm not on an iPad. It just becomes that natural. So lastly, here's a fun little one. If you're using your brushes and you are going back and forth between sizes, it's a little bit annoying to have to slide perfectly every time. So if you slide to your favorite size that you're always using and just tap on it, tap on this plus sign, it'll make a little marker there so that when you go to another, so you want to go back and forth, I'm just going to tap on that, tap on the plus. So then you can easily just go between those two sizes. So you have really skinny and much wider. So you don't have to go and try to find it every time, but if you're bouncing back and forth between those sizes, they're automatically there for you. So it will change from brush to brush, so you can have your brushes set to a standard size that you like to work with, and then it'll be there for you. So we can go back to our sketcher and it will be there. And you can also go back and tap on them and tap the minus to get rid of them as well. So that's a nice way just to save time sliding around trying to find your size. You can just jump back and forth really easily with that. Once you start using even just a few of these, Procreate really does seem to become a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable too. So if you're just getting started and you'd like a little bit more guidance, I do have a free Procreate for Beginners course that's linked below for you. It walks you through everything step by step so you can feel really comfortable right from the beginning. And I'd love to know, what would you like to learn next? Is there something in Procreate that still feels confusing or something you'd like me to explain a little bit more simply? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want a little bit more guidance on how to use masks properly, check out this video here. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.